that the Falcons are most likely going to take a quarterback at 4 now. Obviously,
I think the Panthers are probably going to take one too
at 8. Now they're going to have to trade up. If you're the Jets, that could be a perfect.
Not necessarily. They could just do they could trade up, but they all could.
I think the top 4 quarterbacks are gone by 8. That's how crazy it's going to be this year.
Yeah.
If you're the Panthers, and aren't you inquiring about the Jets possibly for 2? And you basically say, okay, listen, we're down at 8, so you can still get a high end type prospect here, maybe like a Pats.
It probably cost them next year's 1 if they wanted to do it.
I think it would cost this year's like number 8, this year's 2, and next year's 1 would be.
I don't think it would cost that much to get up to.
It's quarterback tax, man.
I know, but I think you could probably the Bills went from 12 to 7 to get with 2, right? That's all they had to give up. So I think you could probably get away with this year's 8 and next year's 1, or this year's 1, this year's 2 and next year's 2, or something like that.
However, though, it's going from 12 to 7 versus going from 8 to 2. Now, the incremental value of going to 2 is going to be a lot more.
I mean, if you're the Jets, though, you got to figure that there's going to be 3 quarterbacks gone before 8, right? So you're getting a top 5 or so player on your board, probably.
Definitely, but then a counterpoint on the Panthers' perspective, you're not sure if you're getting a quarterback at 8. 2 basically locks in your pick after Lawrence, whichever one you want. So I mean, like there's value.
I can actually do this now.
Hey, we got Jared in here. Yo, what's up, Jared? We're talking about. Oh yeah, there.
Now Jared, that I have your login, I can actually put stuff on the screen and stuff.
Like that, Yeah. Yo, what's up, Jared? We're talking about Falcons and what they can do, and then in terms of the Panthers and Jets, what they could possibly do in the draft. Just some hypotheticals, because we always prepare for that type of stuff.
Yeah, we got a cool series coming up to the channel next week that we're going to be going through every position on the AFC and NFC side, going through each position group. So quarterbacks, running backs, wide receivers, tight ends. And we're going to go over who's a free agent, who is available in the draft, who's available in free agency for teams to sign, what's their cap situation like, if they're likely to go into the draft, trade for a guy, all that kind of stuff. We're going to go through it. And I think doing that now, as opposed to when free agency actually starts, can give you guys an edge in dynasty leagues or whatever, because you can go out and be like, oh, wait, I don't think people have realized that, I don't know, Dak Prescott's a free agent. People probably have noticed that. It's just the first example that came to my mind. I don't think people have realized that Kenny Golladay is a free agent, and maybe you could get a edge that way, because I don't think Kenny Golladay wants to go back to Detroit. I think he's probably going to get tagged. But
now the problem is, though, even if you got to look at potential landing spots, if you're looking at free agents, right? If Kenny Golladay leaves Detroit, what teams are wide receiver needy that can hypothetically give him a better landing spot situation than what Detroit is with Stafford?
I think a lot of the teams that are going to be after these higher priced veteran free agent wide receivers are teams that are in limbo with their current quarterback situation. So teams like New York Giants or the Jets, or teams like that, where they have a young quarterback that they're potentially wanting to see what he's got before they decide to move on from him or commit to him or whatever.
And to be honest,
some of those guys haven't had a chance with the weapons that they have currently.
Most of those situations are much worse than Detroit, in my opinion, anyway. So
I don't think so. I think I would rather go to the Giants if I was Kenny Golladay than stay in Detroit.
I don't know. I mean, Kenny Golladay is, again, he doesn't need to be a real separation receiver because he's so physically gifted.
Daniel Jones is a Stafford, dude. He'll throw it up to him.
Yeah, but I mean, Stafford's more talented.
Yeah, but okay, outside of Stafford, though, what else do you have to be excited about in Detroit? I'm more excited about the defense in New York and potentially what they have going on offense with Barkley coming back and all that kind of stuff. I'd rather be in Detroit or in New York if I was Kenny Golladay, for sure.
I would rather be in Detroit, to be honest. I mean, then again, you're talking about defense, but at the same time, I'm just looking at it from a fantasy output standpoint. Yes, if you're,
I don't think Kenny Golladay cares about his fantasy value.
No, I'm saying why we value Kenny Golladay. Why we what situation would we value?
Yeah, I'd rather have him in New York for fantasy value too.
Really? Yeah.
It'd make the offense significantly better.
That's fair.
We saw what Diggs did to the Buffalo offense. If you tick down their receivers a role, so Slayton hypothetically is your number 1 right now in New York.
Yeah.
You move Slayton down to your number 2, Shepard down to your number 3, and then I don't even
Golden Tate
just cut Golden Tate.
Yeah, he sucks.
But if you have Golladay, Slayton, Shepard, that's a pretty formidable wide receiving core. And then I don't know what you do with Ingram. He's, I believe, on his 5th-year option next year or something like that.
Yeah.
And then You have Barkley coming back. Like, that's a good offense. You have Thomas in his second year. Nate Solder opted out before the season. He should be back. You still have a pretty solid interior. Like, you'll have a good offense, at least if Daniel Jones is able to perform. So I'm a little higher on the New York Giants offense. I think they have to add a free agent receiver, though. I don't think they should draft a receiver.
I'm not a big fan of
immediate impact. You saw what Josh Allen did in his first year with Stefon Diggs.
No.
You need to go get a Stefon Diggs-like player.
Now, if you're talking about immediate impact and avoiding the draft, I mean, there's one receiver in the draft that I definitely think could be in a huge immediate impact for this team. And that would be a Devonta Smith, because in my opinion, yes, like Kenny Golladay,
that'd be a great addition too. Yeah. But I think they need some size in their receiving core. Like, so Allen Robinson, Kenny Golladay, Chris Godwin. If any of those guys were available, I think they'd make more sense.
That could help too. Again, they either need an elite separator or they need a guy with size. Because again, Sterling Shepard used to be able to separate. Get both with Chris Godwin. Yeah. Sterling Shepard used to be able to separate for whatever reason last year. Didn't create separation at all. Like at all. Maybe like it could have been the injuries. It could have been like him declining a little bit. Whatever it is. Yeah. I think he really needs a true alpha beside him. So if you're the Giants,
that's why I think the team building philosophy for a lot of teams should be flooding. I think if you're the Giants, you need to see what Daniel Jones is worth. And to do that, you go get Allen Robinson and you draft a guy in the second round. You do both. Because then you have a guy that in your second round pick isn't required to perform right away because he's got 3 solid receivers ahead of him on the depth chart. And then if I don't know, Sterling Shepard gets injured or whatever, he can come in and slot right in and potentially do well as rookie year. Like if they signed again like an A-Rob or even like as you mentioned like a Galladay, and then second round they ended up transitioning to like an Amon-Ra St. Brown to complement that receiving core. Like I think that would be huge for them as well. So or you draft a slot receiver in the second round with the intention of cutting Shepard a year from now.
That's fair. Let's get into some of these Jared points. What does Arthur Smith leaving due to my Titans offense? Henry value up, but AJ value down. Okay. So first of all, we mentioned in the ranking shows, Henry's value is not really going to change much.
I don't think it changes Henry's value.
I don't necessarily say it would be a value up because his volume is pretty much capped at where it is, but necessarily, I don't mean capped like it's going to go down. His contract
and his head coaching philosophy, Mike Vrabel's that is, dictates that Henry's going to get the ball regardless. Yeah, like, AJ Brown is going to be interesting. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people with some stupid takes about AJ Brown's value. Yeah.
Don't listen to it.
Low key though, like if you think about it, we've been saying this for a while. AJ Brown doesn't get that many targets. If a new offensive coordinator comes in that wants to target AJ Brown more for whatever reason, that could be good for AJ Brown. So I know what AJ Brown sees now is plenty of efficient plays, and when he does get targets, he makes the most of them. I'm more of the belief that that's the talent of AJ Brown than it is the scheme that Arthur Smith had. So if they come in with a more not a pass heavy approach, but an approach to get AJ Brown the ball more with whatever.
Especially with Davis leaving.
Yeah, whoever replaces him, I think I think AJ Brown is more set to benefit because I think he was being underutilized by Arthur Smith.
Oh yeah, for sure. Again, like with Arthur Smith's offense, it's all about efficiency in the passing game. So if you notice, again, they were establishing the run to a high degree with Derrick Henry, and that set up a lot of their play action boosts that they love doing with Tannehill. Again, Tannehill is a guy who's really comfortable throwing out of the pocket, and him paired with what Arthur Smith was doing with all those play action boosts is why, following up to your next question, I think the Falcons take a quarterback. Again, don't get me wrong, Matt Ryan from a pocket passing perspective is a really
what his cap really solid quarterback, honestly, because I don't know if Matt Ryan is like locked in for a number of years.
I think he's going to trade.
Like because he just signed a contract either a year or 2 years ago.
Yeah. I think they need a more mobile and young option to build around with Arthur Smith. Again, that's why I said like a Zach Wilson or Trey Lance at 4 makes a ton of sense. Why I mentioned that. I don't think they necessarily need to trade up.
$40 million cap hit, Matt Ryan.
That's crazy.
And okay, so in 2021, he's got a $40 million cap hit with a $49 million. Yeah, dude, they're not moving on from this, dude. They're not. So
what's the dead money?
Okay, so $40 million this year. Dead money's $49 million
over the next 2 years.
And the year after this year, $41 million cap hit. Dead money's $26 million.
So they could probably move on after this next year and free up $23 million.
26. And you're gonna take a $26 million dead cap hit
for 1 year, though.
Well, they have $8 million in dead cap the year after that.
Okay, then either way, like that's why again
they got to trade. They got to trade him. You have to trade him.
That's why Trey Lance
restructure his contract and then trade him.
that's why Trey Lance to me makes a ton of sense for them. Is because even if you keep Matt Ryan, like Trey Lance is probably the most raw out of the top 4 quarterbacks, but I think his ceiling is arguably second.
I don't think it's ever smart to take a quarterback top 5 when you have a quarterback making this much money in. Like, it's different than like with Jordan Love and Aaron Rodgers. Like, that's a different situation. That was the back of the first round. Top 5 quarterback. Like, I don't know if I think you got to move Matt Ryan before you're thinking about a quarterback to me.
I don't know. We should see what happens, but I
don't think they physically can move Matt Ryan. That's my thing. Like, I don't know if you can.
I just look at it from this perspective. This is probably like these top 4 quarterbacks would be number 1 next year, like easily in my opinion. They would be like Trey Lance, Justin Fields.
You think Trey Lance would be the first overall pick next year?
Yes, is
the class not that good?
Well, I mean, it's solid all around, but it's not got that one top figure. Like probably quarterback 1 right now would be like Spencer Rattler, Jaden Daniels, Sam Howell. Like they're all like Slovis. Like they're all like solid.
To be fair, though, one of those guys is probably going to emerge as a favorite next year. Like we saw what happened with Wilson this year, where he was not necessarily a guy who was going to be probably drafted at all, let alone in the top 5. I bet one of those guys emerges as a pretty clear first round pick.
Maybe Desmond Ridder, but I'll tell you, if any of those guys were in this year's class, they would be quarterback 5 and pretty significantly quarterback 5, in my opinion.
Yeah.
So, I just think if you're the Falcons, you have a top 5 pick. You know that this is going to be one of the better quarterback classes of the next few years. Like you're anticipating that. Why not just grab your young signal caller to really build with your new head coach?
I don't think it's smart. With the financial, if the financials were clear, like if you're Detroit, for example, Detroit's financials are way more clear than this. Like because Stafford signed like 3-4 years ago, so his contract.
And his contract is super appealing to a team that wants to trade for him. He's making $25 million next year for a top, top 12 quarterback.
Wants to trade for Matt Ryan has got to eat $40 million on their cap. Like that is not a friendly contract at all.
If you're a team like Washington though, and you can give up you could probably get him for like a late 3, early 4 type now, given that contract value. If you're a team like Washington and your quarterback away, like I think that makes sense.
But you already have a quarterback in Alex Smith that makes a lot of money.
Fair. I want to see what
you think. Trust me, his contract is more than you probably think it is.
What's his dead cap?
Yeah, it's a little wild there.
Also, let's get into some more questions. Okay, so we got into the Falcons. Corey Davis to the Giants, if we don't re-sign him, would be good. Yeah, that's a solid fit too. Yeah.
Yeah, Corey Davis to the Giants. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. That has like free agent bust signing written all over it to me. I don't know why.
The problem I find with Corey Davis
Davis is a hard fit, man. I think the scheme appealed to him a lot more than it did to AJ Brown.
Not to mention, if you're looking at it from the fit perspective, the Giants are going to want him to be their 1 right off the bat. I think Corey Davis is more inclined to be like a 1B, 2A type, like high-end 2 type for any team that wants to sign him. Now, if you're relying on him as your 1, that's going to be a problem.
Yeah, Tennessee tried and failed with that.
Yeah. So I'm interested to see where he goes as well. Like Miami, if they draft someone, pair him next to him.
Ohio State running back Trey Sermon has declared for the NFL draft. Yeah.
Matt Miller likes him.
Yeah, I haven't watched him yet.
Let's go Yannick.
There you go, Yannick.
I see Yannick in the chat. There you are. The trade god himself. I think it was either Tyler or Lucas was telling me, but basically they didn't even find draft picks. They didn't even have their draft order. Nothing like what.
And Yannick was already trying to make trades. I know. Yeah. Yannick, he just tries to make trades constantly.
I love it though. I love it. Keep doing that, Yannick. I love it.
Facts.
What's your thoughts on Pat's QB? Go for Watson, Jimmy G, or draft 15 pick.
You're gonna find that out on Monday when our video drops, because if I don't explain the concept good enough, basically what we did was we're going over all the quarterback needy teams, and we're going to do this position by position. We're going through all the quarterback needy teams, or a team that has a question mark about their quarterback situation in the AFC and NFC. And when we talked about the Patriots, we went over like their cap situation, what's potentially their style too, because they're a very niche organization that likes to do things a certain way. So let's just put it this way. It's a very on-brand move, what we predicted for them.
Makes sense. What you mean Evan Ingram isn't their priority? Oh man. Evan Ingram Yuck.
That
Hey,
drove me
Pro Bowler.
insane when people tried to say he was better than OJ Howard in that draft. I was actually like, oh no, that is such a bad take. Even before I knew OJ Howard would be on the Bucs too, I was like, that's like the worst take I've ever seen.
Dude, Evan Ingram's got more Pro Bowl appearances. Don't you know?
Oh, that is so stupid. Dude, how the fuck did he get in the Pro Bowl?
Dude, he got in over fucking Robert Tonyan. Like, get out of here.
Kept Watson out of my damn division, Jared says. Yeah.
Yeah, you'll see as soon as that news breaks out where he ends up going, that video will be up soon. So make sure you have those notifications on because we'll break it down. But just talking about that real quick, like potential haul if you're the Texans. Like again,
I am still gonna say I'm firmly in the camp that you do whatever the hell makes Watson happy to keep him in house because a rebuild is a lot easier with Deshaun Watson. Like, it's much easier. Yeah, you probably don't pick as high as you would have normally picked if you have Deshaun Watson, but
you got a top 6 quarterback easily.
You have gold in your hand, like found gold. Like what you have is what 26, 24 other franchises in the NFL want. Easily. Like, and probably more than that if you just like weigh Watson versus their quarterback. So
yeah.
I don't think you trade him at all. If I'm the Texans, I pass it up however I want to. Let him help me pick the coach. Let him ask me what free agents to sign. Like I need Watson on board for our rebuild if I'm Deshaun or if I'm the Houston Texans ownership. But if he's that disgruntled, then you got to trade him. You got to get as much as you possibly can.
I just think the situation's too what's it called?
Broken.
Yeah, it's too broken at this point.
I don't like the ESPN people picking the Bucs to win. I don't like that.
I'm sorry.
I want everyone counting Brady out.
Oh, we forgot to do our that's why we should have did yesterday because we could have done our picks for the weekend.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. So let's go through this real quick. I want to pull out the lines right now. We haven't really talked about divisional round playoffs at all. So huge. Did you see what I tweeted earlier today? Cam Akers played 96% of the snaps today. 96.
Like I wouldn't be opposed to taking that guy in the top 15 or so next year.
I said that Dwayne McFarland like contact matters on
third or fourth round pick. Yeah,
he was like, oh, I'm gonna smash Cam Akers in the third, fourth round. Literally every comment's like, bro, he's going in the second. Like
he's gonna be a mid to early second.
I'm like, Kenyon Drake was the 202 in ADP in August. Like I will take Cam Akers way over where I would have taken Kenyon Drake, and I wasn't even on Kenyon Drake last year.
To be honest, man, again, we had him like if you guys haven't checked out our running back rankings, we had him at our consensus 11. And that's with like Aaron Jones not being re-signed. If Aaron Jones goes somewhere else, that situation can deteriorate. I can make a case.
There's an argument that you can make to have Cam Akers at, like within the top 10 running backs. Yeah. And if he's within the top 10 running backs, he'll go at the 112 or like 111 in
100%
drafts.
Because there's only going to be 2 or 3 non-running backs that go in the first round. And that's going to be the 2 receivers and possibly Kelce.
I mean, there's a chance that Diggs or Metcalf or someone like that in the first round.
I mean, I'm still taking Akers over them.
I wouldn't pick those guys over Cam Akers personally.
Yeah, me neither. So big ups to Cam Akers. You want to hear the biggest pain? Actually, I've already told you the biggest pain. I ended up dropping Cam Akers in my redraft or in my.
Yeah, you said it like 60 times.
I know, and I keep regretting it every time I say it. So
yeah.
I could have had Cam Akers, Jonathan Taylor, and Alvin Kamara going into next year.
Yep. So here's what we got here. The lines are Cleveland +8. Give me Cleveland. I actually think they're going to keep with like whether they win or not.
I had it at +10.
Kansas City is not like blowing teams out. Like, and not only that, but they're not blowing good teams out. When they play good teams, they're like winning by like the closest thing they've come to blowing a good team out was when they played my team. But other than that, they've like struck like the Panthers almost beat them. Like I don't think Cleveland is going to lie down and get mollywopped by the Chiefs. I think they're going to put up a fight. I think it's going to be a close game.
I'll also say one thing. I believe it was Warren Sharp who tweeted this out, but the Chiefs were the 4th worst team in rush defense DVOA, despite playing the worst overall rush offense.
We saw high octane rushing attack last year take out the number 1 seed in the AFC, and
basically
Tennessee's rushing attack last year is just as good Cleveland's rushing attack this year is just as good as Tennessee's was last year.
Explaining that to whoever is watching and didn't really understand what I mean by that. Basically, the Chiefs played like the worst rushing schedule they possibly could have in the entire NFL. Like the opponents they had were not good at running the ball. And despite that, they were 4th worst in rush DVOA, meaning that they weren't playing good teams at running the ball.
That means like you just actually can't defend the run. Like
Yeah,
that's
they just
all
can't.
that means.
Like basically, what's that saying? Is I'm a Cowboys fan. We can't defend the run, and they can't defend the run worse than us, if you will. So
yeah, it's one thing to be bad in rush defense DVOA when you played Cleveland twice a year and you play freaking Tennessee that year and like a bunch of like if Baltimore was bad against rush defense DVOA or something. But yeah, like if you're playing bad rushing offenses, if you just look at the division alone, like Austin Ekeler was hurt for most of the year. Josh Jacobs kind of struggled all year. Melvin Gordon wasn't anything special. Like your division alone wasn't very good rushing attacks.
No. Would appreciate it. Come on Monday. Yeah, get ready, Chris. Get ready. Fantasy Footballer said it best. He's finished as the 5th best quarterback for the last 3 years. He's a damn stud. I think he's talking about Watson.
Oh yeah,
he's a
Deshaun
stud.
Watson is like 2nd or 3rd best quarterback in the league, if you ask me.
I have him at 5 or 6, but yeah, I agree.
I think it's between him and Russ for the 2nd best quarterback in the league.
I think Rodgers better.
Yeah, maybe, but Rodgers is in a great situation, man. If we've seen Rodgers in bad situations, and I can assure you, Rodgers would not have done with the Texans what Watson did this year.
I don't know, man, but the way I view it personally is the top 2 quarterbacks are kind of like their own tier. Mahomes and Rodgers is how I have it, and then tier 2. I don't care what order you put these guys. This is the tier 2. So you got Russ, Deshaun, Dak, Josh Allen. Order those guys however you want to. I don't care, but they are all clearly top franchise quarterbacks in the league. And then after that, you start talking about like the Ryan Tannehills of the world, like those type of guys. But the top 6 quarterbacks in the league are set as day. And if people realistically try to go against them, then I'm just going to call them out on it and say they're dead wrong.
Facts.
Like, but yeah, again, like the next area would probably be like Tannehill, Brady, like trying to think who else would be like in that. No, I have Josh Allen in like that.
Oh, okay, like Lamar then.
Yeah, Lamar, yeah. So around there, but
yeah.
Man, imagine if Lamar was a little more developed at throwing the ball.
Imagine if Lamar had a receiver to throw to. That's the big debate on Twitter today. Today it's let's get Lamar a receiver. That's all everyone's talking about. Yeah, I guess that's a pretty solid fit. I think you need someone like Diggs, someone who gets open because Lamar. A-Rob. A-Rob gets open. If Mitch Trubisky can find the dude, he obviously is a good receiver. So
yeah, Jared also said Herbert and Kyler.
I think Godwin would be a better fit personally. In that offense, I think he'd be an awesome fit because he can block like nobody's business too. Yeah,
no, for sure. Aaron Jones F me needed under 72.5 and he busted a 60-yard. That's the problem with. Yeah, no, we agree, Chris too. Chris and Jared too. Yeah, Kyler Murray and Herbert would.
Yeah, for sure. Kyler Murray is a little overrated, if you ask me. I
think
he's a little overrated for fantasy purposes. Obviously not. He's great for fantasy purposes. As an actual NFL quarterback, though, like, I mean, he misses some throws, and I think he would have struggled a lot more. Like Hopkins helped him tremendously this year, obviously, and he would help any quarterback. But I think Kyler Murray is like a top 12 quarterback in the NFL, but I don't think he's like a top 6 quarterback in the NFL.
I think he's in like that 9 to 11 type area. I would still take again like Tannehill and Brady over him right now.
Yeah, like the way like people want to hate on Brady all they want. And this is super biased, obviously coming from me, but Brady had an outstanding year outside of a couple
40 touchdowns. Like
like he had an outstanding year, and he beat up on some bad teams, but like
who doesn't?
Every quarterback.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. People like just disregard Brady like he didn't just like he's probably had the most underrated 40 touchdown campaign
He is probably playing the best football of any quarterback in the NFL over the last like 6 weeks.
Yeah. no, he was balling. Yeah. So he says Jared says I got Cleveland at 10.5. I'm trying to get to RJ for the Bucks, so I picked the Saints -3.5. Respectful.
The Saints aren't winning this game. I would have so early in the season and earlier this week even I would have been like, yeah, Saints are winning this game. Taysom Hill is probably not going to play. And that might not sound like a big deal. Taysom Hill is a fucking Jenga piece for them against us. Like, I don't know what it is against Taysom Hill. We just don't know how to defend the dude.
What about Cam Jordan?
I hate Cam Jordan. Fuck that guy. Yeah, anyway, I think the Bucks, not only that too, but there's the added factor that like Tom Brady wanted the Saints. Like he put out that video being like, I think I know, like with a big ass smirk on his face. I think them watching the Saints locker room dancing after the game with Jameis doing his stupid W eating thing, like that pissed them off, and they marked that game. Like when shit like that happens during the regular season, teams take notice of it. We've seen it before. Like I'm just a historian of football, but in 1990 when the Eagles had the body bag game against the Washington Redskins, they got mollywopped in the playoffs because they literally injured their entire team in a regular season game.
Yeah, no, I remember that. Is that the year the Redskins won on the
I think
field goal by the Bills? 1990.
Yeah, 1990. I think the Redskins might have won the Super Bowl that year.
That was the first of the Bills 4 in a row. No.
No,
first or
Giants
second. Okay, so Giants was
first.
Yeah, Giants was first. Washington was second, and then 2 straight Cowboys.
Yeah. It was basically. I'm pretty sure Buddy Ryan was like, "Yo, like let's injure their team." Like he literally wanted to injure them.
Hey, that's a classic Ryan for you.
Yeah, literally.
Oh man, what about Rob and Rex nowadays?
Yeah.
Kyler Murray, yep. Herbert, yeah, perfect. Yeah, no, I agree. I lose $5 for Brady to play in the NFC Championship. Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Apparently, this live stream is Jared and Chris and us, so that's cool. That's fine. Whatever. Chris says, I'm pretty high on Carolina next year. What do you think? Crazy or rational? I mean, if they get Zach Wilson, man, holy crap, invest in their dynasty assets.
Yeah. DJ Moore.
Honestly, if they get any quarterback other than Teddy Bridgewater, nothing against Teddy Bridgewater. He's just a very low ceiling type quarterback. I think, and I said this on our video that's coming out on Monday, people are always critical of quarterback gurus, right? When people are coming into the draft, they're like, this quarterback's can't miss. And this, like, Mel Kiper's like, I'm going to quit my job if Brady Quinn is a failure in the NFL. The reason people are bad at evaluating quarterbacks is because I honestly believe that landing spot's more important than talent for quarterbacks. And I think Carolina is one of the best landing spots for a young quarterback because I think their coaching staff is legit. I think their offense has pieces. I think they're going to add more pieces and continue to do so. And if they keep Joe Brady this year, which is looking probably likely, I don't know if he's like, I mean, I know Eagles fans really want Joe Brady. I'm not sure if he gets a coaching job yet. I think that's probably next year if he has another good year.
There's a report to yesterday or something like that. It was like the Eagles are like their 2 main candidates right now are fucking Josh McDaniels and Eric Bieniemy. Please take either of them over Joe Brady, bro. Please take either of them over Joe Brady.
Joe Brady out of my division, actually. You got to take Joe Brady. But I don't want the Eagles to succeed either because I hate the Eagles. So don't.
Heck, there was a report that they were trying to poach fucking Kellen Moore from the Cowboys and make them their head coach. Like, fuck off. No. There are actually some Cowboys fans that think Kellen Moore is the problem when this guy with an entire backup offense led them to top 12 in DVOA over the second half of the season.
Yeah, that'd be pretty brutal. Is this game on like Amazon Prime or something?
Is it on right now?
It should be. I'm not like my TV is not even like going right now.
It starts in 3 minutes.
I'm watching like women's college basketball for some reason. Like I was like, okay, I thought the NFL countdown was on and then women's college basketball just turns on. I'm like, okay, I don't think this is the right channel.
Eric Bieniemy firmly in the mix for Texans job too. Dang.
Yeah. Okay. So that's a big deal. If Eric Bieniemy gets the Texans job, I don't think Watson's going anywhere because that was the guy he wanted, and that's been reported a couple times now. So however, if Eric Bieniemy gets the job, that means they're listening to Deshaun Watson and they're trying to patch things.
He hates Caserio though. He hated the Caserio move. Like hated it. Yeah.
Why? Who did he want?
He wanted a say on it, and then they just hired Nick Caserio from the Pats, and he was pissed.
Yeah,
he's pissed,
and I'm sure he was already pissed from the Hopkins deal too. So
Bob, yeah. Speaking of Bob, he's the fucking new Alabama offense coordinator.
Yeah, which means he'll be the head coach of freaking Texas next year or something.
Yeah. Also, there was a coaching clinic that Steve Sarkisian was doing a couple years ago. It's basically like, if you notice a lot in college football, mainly only teams really run as cover 3 because they don't trust their cornerbacks to really like play at a high level press man, right? So they'll play a lot of cover 3. And Sarkisian was basically saying, when a team comes out and thinks they can outsmart me with cover 3, I just laugh because all I have to do is put a little read element into my offense, get their 2 inside linebackers to react. And if they don't react, I run the ball. If they do react, I just throw it behind them.
Which is why I'm pretty sure I've watched both Alabama receivers and their running back now for the draft purposes. And
they do so many reads.
I'm pretty sure I've seen the same RPO 78 times where they run like an inside zone RPO with Jalen Waddle or Devontae Smith running like a bubble like screen. Like I've probably seen that play 15, 20 times.
10 times a game.
Like, I'm not even kidding. I'm pretty sure they ran that play against Mississippi State 10 times.
Yeah, because again, like the teams will only come out and cover 3 against them. If you want to do that against Steve Sarkisian, okay, I'm just going to abuse you on the outside. Like it's that he literally said that in a coaching clinic. And then if you actually get, like, if you guys actually watch the Alabama film, they do that more than any other team I have ever seen.
Run cover 3 beaters like every play.
Yeah, like it's fucked.
Yeah, it's
but they're Sarkisian in his Madden bag, eh?
Yeah, literally.
Doesn't everyone except Eagles fans hate the Eagles? Yeah,
pretty sure Eagles fans hate the Eagles, like Chris just said there.
Then again, a lot of
like Jerome, the guy who creates a lot of our graphics, he's an Eagles fan. He hates Eagles fans, and it's a legitimate thing. Like the Eagles are the worst franchise in the history of sports. Literally, like I'm going to retain that knowledge.
A lot of people also hate the team behind me too. So
yeah, I don't that's your team too. It's the reason we hate your team is because you guys overvalue your players and what your freaking franchise is worth when no one wants to go to your teams.
Oh yeah, I saw. Did you see what I sent in the chat the other day too?
Yeah, I did. You said what was it like? Trade a second rounder for
Quinnen Williams, and then like once you do that, just trade a 5th for JJ Watt.
Like, what the hell is wrong with you people? Like, it's everyone just it thinks on their team. Like when Bucks fans trade for things, we're like, oh yeah, like what's the legitimate value? We're like a normal franchise. I'm pretty sure like 30 other teams are like that. And then the Eagles are like, let's just trade a 4th rounder for like the best young nose tackle in the league.
Oh yeah, Vita Vea for 4.
Yeah, or Quinnen Williams had a great season this year. Like you're not getting him for a 2nd rounder.
To be fair, at the time it was like a top 35 pick, and that was before and that was before he really broke out at the second half of the season. So it's still an undervalue, I agree, but like the JJ Watt for a 5th, like what the hell?
Yeah,
like, I know he's got hurt a little bit, and he's not like the same player he was. That's still a top 10 edge in the league.
He had 16.5 sacks like 2 years ago.
Like he's still a freak. Most people hate the Cowboys because they were so dominant in the 90s. That's all Cowboys fans bring up.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
All 4 of those teams were dominant in the 90s. Like all that entire division was like that. Like the Redskins were dominant in the 90s, the Eagles, the Cowboys, and the Giants. They were all. That's why everyone glorifies that division, is because they were once like must-see television, because they were like 4 of the like 6 best teams in the NFC.
Yeah, and nowadays we got a 7-9 team representing our division in the playoffs.
It's really fun because you guys used to have some messed up shit.
For sure.
Like you're like the body bag game we already talked about. Like because the defenses in that division were pretty friggin' good with LT and Reggie White and those guys.
Like it's so weird though, because like every now and then, don't get me wrong, we got a dominant team in the division that just wins like 12, 13 games. But realistically, even in those seasons, they're bloodbaths in the division. Like every single fucking game is a bloodbath. Like
the NFC South, we just throw the ball over each other's heads all game. Like no one covers anyone. There's no defense played. We just throw the ball over each other's heads.
And
I think that's gonna be the case today, though. Also, fuck the Saints. All day and every day, fuck the Saints.
Also, Chiefs are at the 50. But just talking about the Cowboys. If I were to rank like the teams I hate in the division, like in order, it would be easily the Eagles number 1. Then a tier below them, the Giants. Then like legitimately probably like 5 tiers below them would be the football team. I don't even like hate the Redskins.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the Falcons. I actually like don't care about the Falcons. Yeah. Like because we were never good at the same time.
Yeah.
The Falcons have never been good, so that's.
Do you hate the Panthers?
I don't like the Panthers. Not like so I don't hate the Panthers, but I hate Cam Newton and I hate Steve Smith Sr. So like, there's 2 players on the Panthers that I really don't like, so it makes me dislike the team. Whereas the Saints, I've always hated the Saints, and there's so many players on the Saints that I hate. Like I don't like it. There's like nice guys on the Saints that I don't like. I fucking hate Demario Davis. I have absolutely no reason to hate him.
You probably hate like fucking Malcolm Jenkins now too.
Yeah, I have never liked Malcolm Jenkins.
Oh, Chauncey Gardner-Johnson.
Yeah, fuck that guy. I loved him coming out of school too.
That's jokes. Pats fan here. So much hatred around the. Oh yeah, definitely. Watching the Bears soon. Do they even have enough capital to even get them? Like, if you're the Texans, what do you even want from the Bears? Like, they don't have high picks.
You go to the Jets and the Dolphins first, right? Because they got the honey pots. They got the top 3 picks.
Yeah, like the Bears, they can offer you what, like 3 mid first rounders, when like in reality in the Miami and Jets offer like 2 and 3 is going to be in the offer almost assuredly.
Yeah.
So like, I would want to see what they would offer because I need pretty significant capital there.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
because if you actually think about the Bears, like what like young, tantalizing assets do they have on their team? Like Roquan Smith, Kyle Fuller. Apart from that, like who do you want?
Montgomery.
Oh God. But yeah,
Darnell Mooney.
yeah, like quite literally, he might be like their third most valuable young asset, which is fun.
Also, probably like I would say that Darnell Mooney is such a great dynasty buy, but I'm pretty sure everyone knows about Darnell Mooney.
Oh, everybody does.
Yeah,
I think the more under the radar one would probably be Anthony Miller.
Yeah, he's probably dirt right now. Like no one
Yeah,
cares.
you could probably get him for like a late 3, early 4.
Yeah,
and like at that price, to be honest, actually,
around draft capital, and I really liked him coming out of school.
Yeah, no, definitely. Oh shoot,
He could be this year's Corey Davis.
Potentially. Tyreek with the big catch. Yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah, we should probably head out of here in the next couple minutes here. If you guys have any more questions, we got a little low key live stream here. Let us know also what you guys want to see going forward. We're gonna start getting into like mock drafts and stuff, like rookie mocks and dynasty mocks. So make sure if you guys aren't already, join the Discord because when we record those, we're gonna put it in the Discord and be like, hey guys, we're recording a rookie mock, like join up or whatever. And then we'll do those live and kind of talk about our reactions and all that kind of stuff.
For sure. And you mentioned Ray Lewis, like as a guy like you hate. Even
I love those Ravens teams, man, because I never had to deal with them. Right, my team was terrible. Like it's those Ravens teams were really fun to watch. I love defense. My team was really defensive, probably their entire history of their organization. So I grew up watching defensive players, not offensive players, because our offense was pitiful because we were the Yucks. But
the Yucks.
Watching Brooks and Sapp and all those guys like really made me appreciate like Lewis and Reed and those guys too.
Tyreek almost scored. Yeah, no. When I don't get me wrong. When I was young, I still started watching football. But you know the difference between watching football and
understanding football. Yeah, I didn't really understand football when I watched Brooks and those guys. Like when I started understanding football, Sapp was an Oakland Raider. So he wasn't even on the Bucks anymore. Like I started really getting into bad. We were terrible when I started watching football.
The first year I really understood and appreciated football was the year the Steelers and Cardinals were in the Super Bowl. And then the following year, I believe that was the Packers versus the Steelers. Or wait, no, there was a year in between. The Saints versus Colts. That was the year I said, that was 2009. That's when I really started watching.
Understood the Super Bowl. Yeah, the first Super Bowl I really understood, thankfully, was the run of amazing Super Bowls that happened. Because the first Super Bowl I really understood was the Colts Bears Super Bowl, and then after that Super Bowl was the David Tyree Super Bowl, and then after that Super Bowl was the Santonio Holmes one. It was just a nice run of.
And then after Mahomes touchdown, and then after that Super Bowl was the Sean Payton onside kick at half.
Yeah, fuck Sean Payton. Punchable face.
And then the year after
in the NFL, weasel. He's literally a weasel.
And then the year after that was one of the best quarterbacks I have ever personally seen, winning his one and only Super Bowl. Hopefully his second this year.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
Not hopefully his second unit this year.
I hope so.
Actually, sorry. If we lose today, Aaron Rodgers got a new number 1 fan because I want to see Drew Brees retire without another ring. That's all I want. I wouldn't even be opposed to Drew Brees making the Super Bowl and losing there.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing more that I want out of life than to see the Saints fans miserable. That might sound petty to you guys, but if you hate a team like I hate the Saints, you'll understand.
Oh, dude, I was in such a predicament a couple years ago when the Pats and the Eagles played in the Super Bowl. Because on one hand, I'm like, fuck Brady. I don't want to see him.
I always cheered for Brady in his Super Bowls. Think about the best Super Bowls you've ever watched. Tom Brady is in all of them.
That's fair. And then on the other end, I'm like, fuck the Eagles shit. I don't want them to ever win.
I would never cheer for if I was a Cowboys fan,
I didn't cheer for
the Eagles under any circumstances.
I still picked the Patriots, but it was a lose-lose scenario because I didn't want them to win either.
I didn't think so. I hated the Eagles. I was like, fuck the Eagles. Let's go Pats.
God, the Falcons should have fucking beat them in the playoffs that year too. I still remember that. The fucking Julio Jones last second.
Yeah. No, that was the next year. That was the year they went to the Super Bowl.
You sure?
Yeah.
No, that was the year the Eagles went.
No, the Eagles went to the Super Bowl the year before that. The Falcons game was the year after the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
You sure? They played them in the first round?
100%. 100%.
Oh, no, yeah, you're right, because the Eagles had a bye that year because they finished first in conference. That was the year that they played the Vikings in the NFC Championship after the Stefon Diggs play.
Mm-hmm.
That makes sense. Okay. Who did the Eagles lose to that following? Wait, no, because we were in the playoffs in 2018.
What?
The Eagles didn't make. Oh no, they did make the playoffs.
Yeah, they did. They snuck in as like a 9-7 wild card, and Nick Foles was surprisingly the quarterback again. Not so surprisingly, and they beat the Falcons in the first round, and then I believe they lost to New Orleans, maybe New Orleans. I think in 20.
They got cranked by New Orleans.
Yeah, because they got cranked by New Orleans, and then New Orleans lost to the Rams with the.
And that was the year that
Coleman play, and then
that was the year that the Bears missed the field goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, okay. Now I want to see some of these brackets.
Was the Rams who did the Bears miss the field goal against? Was that against the Rams or the Saints? That was against the Rams.
No, it wasn't against the Rams because we played the Rams in the second round. We beat the Seahawks in the first round. Now I'm trying to fact check this. They lost to Philadelphia. That's it.
Who did?
They missed the field goal against Philadelphia.
Oh, right. No. That was okay. We're thinking of different years, dude. 2019, I'm pretty sure was the. Or no, it wasn't. Never mind. Okay, yeah. So the Falcons. Yeah, because the Bears had a bye. Did they have a bye?
No, they played in the first round.
Who did they play?
Yeah, dude. I told you it's the 2017 because it was in the divisional round.
What was?
15-10, the Eagles beat the Falcons. That was when Julio Jones dropped a touchdown.
In the divisional round?
Yeah.
Of the year they won the Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Really? In 2017?
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
And that year, that was when New Orleans beat Carolina 3 times in the same year.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Fun stuff.
Yeah. Oh, my God, if I have to fucking see Sean Payton with a broom in the locker room after this game, I'm going to be so mad. I'm going to be triggered if I have to see that stupid weasel fucking dancing in his locker room.
Yeah. I got confused for a second. I'm like, no, it's 100% 2017.
If you guys don't follow me on Twitter already, go ahead and do so.
It's
going to be very entertaining during this game.
Yeah, same. Add those up. I'll give you 2 seconds and then you'll see it in this
7th ring in home stadium. Had it since preseason. I hope so.
He's not a nice guy on the field. He's actually an asshole on the field, to be fair. So I can see why you would hate him.
90-yard touchdown! I love that play. That mic'd up. It was so funny.
Oh God!
Did they miss an extra point? Oh, they did.
Yeah. No, I said Bucker sailed it left.
What the heck is going on with the best 2 kickers missing kicks?
I know, right?
Yeah, you know what's funny as hell? I have never, ever played a DFS kicker. Just so happened I played Tucker yesterday. You're like, yeah, this guy's a sure thing. Like, if he kicks the field, like, it's a sure thing. And then he just fucking misses 2 field goals. Like, nice, dude.
For sure. Also, is Matt Nagy low-key like one of the more underrated coaches in the league? Because, like, you see what he's working with on offense, and he's made the playoffs in 2 of the last 3 years. Like, what?
Everyone's getting excited in my DM comments.
Really? Dude, because he's got Mitch Trubisky at quarterback, and really, like, one exciting piece on offense is probably going to leave this year. And he's made the playoffs.
He's made the playoffs 2 out of 3 years with
a tough division.
Quarterback. Yeah. It's pretty impressive what he's done. He does some stupid shit though. Like his play, like some of his offensive play calling last year, especially, was like really bad. But yeah. Peace out, Chris. Hope you
peace out, Chris.
Good for the 2v2 chats that we had here.
Facts.
All right, we should probably head out here too because this game's already in progress.
For sure. Yeah. Oh man, I still I'll say one thing because I was here 2018 when the Cowboys last made the playoffs. That was the year that the Rams ended up getting the play against the Saints that Saints fans will always bitch about every time you ask them. And that year, the
Saints would have won the Super Bowl that year.
I think so too, but I'm looking at it too. Like we played the Rams in the divisional round, right? That year, the Cowboys offense got off to like a slow start, but it wasn't really the Cowboys offense's fault because again, the Rams were just running the ball at fucking will in the first half against the Cowboys, so they went off to a huge lead. Cowboys ended up closing the gap to 30-22. 2 minutes left, 3rd down, and I think it was 7. Okay. Yeah. All the Cowboys have to do is get the Rams off the field and give Dak one more chance to end up tying that game. They let Jared Goff run for the first down. Jeff Heath misses his tackle.
Yep.
Seals the game. Rams run the clock out. End up making the Super Bowl that year. And I still think of it like every time when I think of the Cowboys in the playoffs. We could have beaten them.
No, dude, that was the Saints year. They fucked up. I hope this is not like an America's game like situation this year where they win the Super Bowl, because I do not want to see the Saints win the Super Bowl. I predicted it preseason because I think it feels really narrative-y and it feels like it could happen. Just for the sake of accuracy and being unbiased, I feel like it could happen, but I refuse to believe that they're going to make the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's fair.
And if they make the Super Bowl, I'm cheering adamantly for Kansas City or whoever's playing them.
For Cleveland. Sure. Hey, don't worry. Next year I'll be cheering on my team in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, imagine. Actually think the team's going to make the playoffs next year.
I will bet you right now that they make the playoffs.
Next year?
Yes.
I mean, your division's dog shit. Like, you could win 8 games and make the playoffs.
Okay, I'll bet you that if they make the playoffs, they win a playoff game.
Again,
assuming Dak's back.
Okay, I'll bet you that they win less than 11 games. I'm talking wins. I don't care about your division sucks dick. Like, you could win 10 games.
So we're doing a 10.5 spread?
No, you need to win more than 11 games.
What? So 11's a push?
Yeah. So if they win 11 exactly, it's a push. 10,
that's tough for any team. What the hell? 11 wins gets you the 3 seed this year.
You got 6 free wins in your division.
No, chill. Washington's a good team, especially if they get the quarterback.
Well, if your team's as good as you think it's going to be, then your team should be
fair.
And Njoku making plays. Anyway, let's sign out of here.
I'll revisit that after the offseason, assuming we have Dak and the draft class back. But yeah, I think they're going to win 11 plus. Again, gotcha. I looked over that schedule. Okay, but I mean that schedule's pretty easy.
Their schedule this year was pretty easy too.
Yeah, but they also lost their entire offense, so
and they could do it again.
Yeah. I mean, like that, any team could do that. Like Chiefs could lose Mahomes next year and win 6 games.
They'll probably win 9 games. They lost.
To be honest, they probably will. Their division's dog crap too.
Yeah.
Now he gets too cute later, guys. I remember that. I was pissed. Oh yeah, wait. Was that the you're talking about the Jared Goff rollout?
Potentially, I don't know.
I forget. I don't know. I'm just catching up. I bet they win 11 games. Yeah, facts. Oh Jesus, no thanks. What are you referring to? Them winning 11 games?
Yeah, the bet where I was like, if they win 11, it's a push. Probably.
Yeah,
anyway,
what the heck? Yeah, why would we push at 11? That's off.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways, take it easy, guys. You'll see for Monday's video then.